Thanks for buying the Cinebox, your professional outdoor cinema system. Setting up your screen is simple and easy. Please follow the instructions shown for proper setup and safe usage. You can produce great outdoor movie events within minutes of watching this video. In this DVD, we will cover the equipment checklist, storage, screen setup, getting it all connected, and caring for the Cinebox. Equipment checklist. When your Cinebox arrives, it will come in several boxes. Sometimes boxes are shipped separately and may arrive days apart. Unpack boxes to find the screen, speakers, speaker stands, Cinebox console, miscellaneous bag, power cords, audio cords, stakes, mallet, tarp, blower, and projector. It is important to read all the equipment manuals when the Cinebox arrives. This will enable you to get the most out of your Cinebox. When you pack up the equipment, the cords, stakes, mallet, tarp, blower, and speaker stands all go in the miscellaneous bag and the projector goes into the Cinebox console. You end up with 5 portable cases that can fit in a mid-size sedan. Begin by locating a spot with flat, level ground to set up the screen. Always use the tarp when setting up on dirt, concrete, or pavement. It is also a good idea to use the tarp on the grass because it will prevent leaves, mud, and grass clippings from getting on the projection surface or frame. It is also important to consider power when setting up your screen. The entire Cinebox system can be powered from a regular 15 or 20 amp electrical circuit. If you plan on plugging in other devices like popcorn machines and lights, be sure to use a separate electrical circuit. The supplied power extension cords allow you to place the screen and Cinebox console 50 to 100 feet away from a power outlet. If you plan on being farther than this, you will need additional extension cords. Unpack your screen from its bag and unroll it onto the tarp. Do not drag the screen on rough surfaces. Position your screen so that the air intake tube, which is on the back of the screen, is facing away from your audience. Your first time, it may take a few tries to lay out the screen properly. Remove the projection surface from its bag and attach it to the inflatable frame using the large, durable zippers. Next, attach the blower to the intake tube. Velcro the intake tube as tightly as you can to prevent excess air from escaping the screen. Plug in your blower to one of the 50-foot extension cords provided with your Cinebox. Connect the extension cord to a power outlet. Now you're ready to inflate the screen. Turn on the blower and move to the side of the screen. Help the screen up as it inflates to protect it from the tree branches or other nearby obstacles. Inflation takes about 1 minute, depending on the screen size. With the screen inflated, make any position changes before using the tethers to stake it down. In windy conditions, you may need to stake down the screen before you inflate it. If you need to take a moment and admire the screen, we'll understand. Place the stakes diagonally away from each corner. Use the width of the projection surface to dictate the distance at which to place the stakes. For example, on a 16 by 9 foot screen, you would place the stakes about 16 feet away from the screen. Use the included mallet and stakes. Be careful not to hit sprinkler lines. You can also check for utility lines by contacting your local utility notification center. If the location doesn't permit using stakes, you should tie the tethers to what is available. When tying the tether to the stake, a simple clove hitch knot works well. Here's an example of a clove hitch knot. Make one loop with the slack end on the bottom, then make another loop from the loose end with the slack on the bottom and slide it on top of the first loop. You can easily tighten or loosen the tether with a clove hitch knot. Place the speaker stands a few feet to the left and right of the screen. Spread the speaker stand legs out as wide as possible for greater stability. Place each speaker on its stand and adjust the stand to the desired height. Now connect the power cords on the back of the speaker. Connect the audio cables where it says input. Make sure the speakers are turned off and the volume is turned all the way down. Use the 25-foot extension cords to connect the speaker's power cord to the extension cord going to the blower. Now you're ready to position the Cinebox. The Cinebox case will be placed either in front or behind the screen depending on whether you are doing front or rear projection. The distance from the projection surface is the same in either case. Place the Cinebox 2 times the width of your screen. Use the actual projection surface width, not the entire inflatable frame width. For a 16 by 9 screen, you would place the Cinebox 32 feet away. This distance is not exact because the zoom feature of the projector gives you a range to play with. Advantages of rear projection. When projecting from behind the screen, kids won't run in front of the movie, look into the projector, or trip on the cords. If you place the Cinebox behind the screen, you can operate everything without getting in the way of your audience. Rear projection allows your audience freedom to move around without interfering with the Cinebox. Plus, by tucking the Cinebox away, all attention is on the screen, not the equipment. Disadvantages of rear projection. Rear projection is not as bright as front projection. You lose about 10% of the light. Also, you don't know how loud the audio is for the audience when you are behind the screen. Check the audio levels from the audience side and adjust the mixer accordingly. Rear projection requires more free space behind the screen. Some venues simply don't have the extra space. Finally, you'll need to reverse the projector's image so it does not look backwards for the viewers. This means that the technician will be looking at the reversed image. Consult your projector's user manual for rear projection settings. Advantages of front projection. Image quality is slightly better with front projection. Also, you know exactly how loud the volume is for your audience. Front projection requires less space because the Cinebox is part of your audience. It is easy for viewers to find the technician and connect devices such as laptops, video cameras, gaming systems, or karaoke to the Cinebox. This allows for lots of audience participation. Disadvantages of front projection. The downside of front projection is that kids can block the screen, look into the projector, or trip on the cords. Plan for this and allow a bit of slack on the cords so if somebody does trip on a cord, nothing will be unplugged or knocked over. There's not as much room for the audience with the Cinebox in front, and you may block their view as you operate the Cinebox.